What does it look like for the day in the life of an MSP business owner? And if you are not an MSP business owner yet, this video is going to be super enlightening. And if you are an MSP business owner, you're probably going to get a bunch of little tips, tricks, and things that you can do to be a more effective owner as you go through your career. My name is Harrison Barron from growth-generators.com. We help MSPs grow, whether that's sales training, business operations, or even digital marketing. And I know that you guys like to skip this part because I say the same things over and over, but I want to throw one little caveat out there. If you would like, and I know this is terrible to do, but if you would like me to come on site and do some videos at your location, which is something super cool and super unique, feel free to reach out to me, hbarron@growth-generators.com, or go to growth-generators.com, fill out the contact us form, leave a little thing in there, because I think it would be pretty cool. If you're open to me bringing a camera in and showing people the behind the scenes, obviously I won't give away any secret sauce, but it could be a really great opportunity for you to get some exposure for your MSP business. But hey, you know what? You never know what's going to come out of it, and it would be pretty darn cool to see what some of you guys are doing, because I have had the luxury of being in tons of MSPs, but I never took the camera behind the scenes on that. So if you're interested, reach out to me. I'd be happy to chat about that. If you want to hang out with us, growth-generators.com/Discord, the free community. And if you want free resources from free templates, cheat sheets, pricing guides, growth-generators.com/resources. And I will leave all of those links down in the video description. And hey, if you're listening to the podcast version, if you're driving, preferably keep your eyes on the road. But hey, make sure when you're driving, when you pull over for a minute, we'd really appreciate a great review on the podcast as well. It truly helps the podcast grow, helps us make more content and reach more MSPs. So let's talk about a day in the life, because I have had truly a super unique experience. I've gotten to sit in tons of MSPs at this point, more than I can count, at least on my hands and toes. But I've been able to go in from one-person operations all the way up to 100+ employee MSPs and physically sit and talk to the team and go in and investigate, see what's going on. Sometimes as just a bystander, sometimes as getting my hands dirty and going in and fixing different aspects of the business, or helping fix different aspects of the business. And I see a lot of different things happen. So I want to share with you guys kind of the secret sauce that I've come up with based on this. It all starts out with your morning routine. Now, lately I've been making videos in the morning because I just got married. Thank you for all the congratulations, by the way, in one of the recent videos. But I've been making videos because I'm just still catching up on life. Things are all crazy, but I try to keep my morning routine nearly the same. At least for me, when I wake up, I grab a cup of coffee, go sit outside, let the dogs out, and then start reading emails and just ripping through as many emails as I can, because for whatever reason, we get a ton of them, right? But having a consistent morning routine. You don't have to be one of those, David Goggins type people that wakes up at 4 o'clock in the morning. That's crazy. I would never do that. For me, my perfect day, I'm up at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, sometimes 8:30. But that's just me. That's what I like to do. That's how I thrive. I am a night owl. Some people aren't, and that's okay too. I take partial responsibility from my career as a bartender before, and then as a fireman, going into and doing things at weird hours of the night. I've always been a night owl, and I've never ever been a morning person. But there are plenty of morning people out there. But developing a key morning routine is really important. And in that morning routine, something I recommend and I've seen work really, really well for MSP business owners is stand-up meetings. Now, I can tell you I have seen everything from every single day to once a week and once a month. And I hesitate to say that because I think it's important to touch base at least once a week. Sometimes every single day can be a little excessive, but if it works well for you and your business, it's important. And those monthly stand-up meetings can be everything from team management to sales to digital marketing. Hey, what's the strategy? What are we going in today? Who has problems that we need to address right off the rip? And kind of before the influx of tickets, the service manager, the project managers can get involved as well, and it kind of sets the tone for the day, and I think that is important. Am I saying you need to have a meeting every single morning? Absolutely not. But I am saying you should have a meeting at least once a week. If it's going to be once a week, expect a little bit longer, right? Maybe it's 15 to 30 minutes for a sales meeting, 15 to 30 minutes for a marketing meeting, 15 to 30 minutes for a service desk meeting, 15 to 30 minutes for client relations. There's a million different aspects of the business. Even HR needs to have some time spent with them as well. It's really, really important. And it also keeps everybody on the same page. You see, as the business owner, right, it is your job to drive the ship, but you can't, right? Think of a cruise ship. You can't be the one that does everything. You just have to steer the ship, and you have to make sure you communicate effectively with your team to know that they're doing the right job when the right job needs to be done. And it's a great way to set the tone for the day. It's a great way to set expectations for the day. Take over those challenges that you may have or the team may have, but also adjust problems. And you can get ahead of problems and anything like that as the business owner so much faster by tackling it on I shouldn't even say bi-weekly, but on a daily or weekly basis. By letting it stretch out too long, it gives people the opportunity to do what we call in the fire department, which is freelancing. They just go out and do what they think is right. That's never a good sign. You want to make sure that your people can work the way that they're supposed to work, and it is your job to live in chaos, essentially, right? Even the best business owners, there's still a good bit of chaos in the office. There's always things that are happening that you never thought were going to happen, but that's part of being the business owner. So let's talk about some of these meetings here, because I think these meetings are really important, right? And some meetings are team management meetings and just going over the day-to-day basis of what's going to happen, right? Checking in, seeing what those people are like, if you so choose to go down the meetings. And these meetings could be anywhere between 5 to 15 to 30 minutes long, and it's just to address any of those problems. But more importantly than that, and depending on what team you're talking to, you also want to make sure that your clients, the people that pay you, as I drop cash here, the people that pay you every single month are happy, right? Because without them, we don't make that monthly recurring revenue that we're all after. So we have to make sure that we're doing the best job for our clients and internally. And it could be just addressing problems. It could also be going above and beyond. I can't tell you how many MSP business owners I've spoken to. They're like, I've never met with any of my clients. Oh my goodness. I'm not saying you need to go out and meet every single client, but doing a walkthrough, it shows the client that you care. It also shows your employees that you're kind of always watching. You're not micromanaging, key point, but you are always watching what goes on. That is really, really important. And it just shows like, hey, you are willing to step up and grow and be involved in the business. Now, talking about clients, we also need to focus on, and one key point that you need to bring up in every meeting is business development. I cannot tell you how many MSP business owners I've talked to that are allergic to business development or allergic to sales. They just turn a blind eye and they just are not focused on what puts, once again, money in their pocket. You have to be talking about business development. You work so hard to get new clients, right? And you want to make sure you keep those clients. But your business, if it's not growing, it's dying, because at some point those clients that you have are going to get bored. They're going to feel like your employees are going to get lax with them. They're not going to feel like they're growing. They're going to see a stagnation point, and eventually those clients are going to fall off. There's really no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You have to be focusing on business development. And that might even be having a sales meeting and a marketing meeting and then a combined meeting at the end. Sales and marketing, two wildly different departments that work hand in hand. Just like you have your knock and sock teams that are two different departments that they work hand in hand to a large degree, once again, depending on your business. But you have to be able to talk about those and address those problems. Now, throughout the day, your activities are going to vary. I wish I had a fire extinguisher. I do in the kitchen. I should have probably thought about that. But you are going to be putting out fires. There's no doubt that things are going to be happening throughout that day. But once again, it is your job to drive that cruise ship. So having your team in place is important, and being available. Not only does having that meeting early in the day set the tone, but a lot of it should be alleviating the stresses, the work that you have to do throughout the remainder of the day, giving you tremendous opportunity to grow and succeed with your business. So taking the time, putting in the effort to fully go through that and being able to address and tend to the needs of the problems going on in the business is really, really important. And then at the end of the day, we have to make sure that, yes, we are in business to, once again, make money, but we want to make sure that there is some level of work-life balance. I am super fortunate. I started my business at a very early age. I think it was 25 when I first started my business, and I got to learn a tremendous amount through my career. Maybe I was a little bit older, but somewhere in there, right? I was able to build a business that I absolutely loved. If you feel like you're slipping away or you're losing that work-life balance that you really want, it's important to take a long look internally. We are the leaders of the business. We have to be able to say, hey, what's going on? Where can we improve? What can we do better? Where can I put in standard operating procedures, which is what the fire department lives on, right? To make our lives easier. We don't want to work our life to death. That doesn't do anything. Yes, we'll have money in the bank, but if we're unhappy at the end of the day, there is a bit of work-life balance that needs to happen. And that work-life balance could just be working. I know wildly successful MSP business owners that from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., it is work. 6 p.m. afterwards, unless it is a 911 emergency, they're off the clock. I know that sounds crazy because it is possible. And they absolutely love it. Hey, they put their kids on the bus, kids go to school. When the kids come home, they show up a little bit afterwards, and then the rest of the evening is completely theirs. They keep their weekends completely open as well. But having a really important work-life balance is vital, I think, to most MSPs because you're gonna burn out. We live in a technology era. It is like drinking from a fire hose every single day with new hacks, new technology, new hardware, new software, firmware updates, CrowdStrike tanking everybody's stuff. I mean, the list of things that could go wrong is pretty endless. There are going to be times that you're going to end up working more, but make sure you don't burn the candle from both ends for too long. Take a second, recharge. It is really important for the success of the business. And it's also important for your employees, your team, to see that there is a work-life balance, that you are determined to grow, but there is times when, hey, it's time to hit the off switch, right? And that is a precedent I don't think enough business owners, especially MSP business owners, set an example of. We are addicted to work. Trust me, most of my YouTube videos, fun fact, are made between 9 p.m. and 1 a.m. because that's when the dogs are quiet, that's when the house is quiet, and I can focus on getting things done. But that's not always the case. I'm a night owl. I'm not a morning person. I don't want to take meetings before 10 or 11 in the morning. That's when I'm least effective, right? So just know yourself, know what works out for you, know where the opportunities are in your business. And if you're truly struggling, you're not getting to where you want to go, and you really want help, feel free to reach out to us. I mean, we'd love helping MSP business owners, growth-generators.com, probably /contact us, or it's on the website. But reach out to us. We'd love to help. It is not as daunting as it should be, but having a great morning routine, a great routine throughout the day is going to give you endless success in the career. And I'll give you if you've made it this far, one last little golden nugget. For the sweaty startups, the bootstrappers that are going out there, starting their business, and they are less than, I would say, 10 employees, I will paint this picture for you, and this is the only time I'd recommend working more than you're comfortable with, especially getting out of that early startup phase. From 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. is time to make cold calls and client acquisition or customer acquisition. Use this little device, start to get in front of people, right? That includes networking, door knocks, cold emails, cold calls, anything that's going to help grow the business. From 6 p.m. to 8 a.m., yes, you still have to sleep. I'm not making you not sleep, is the time for doing less client-facing activities. So that means blogging, working on social media posts, content creation, whatever it may be. That first 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. is all about sales. That 6 p.m. to 8 a.m. is about attracting new marketing, business operations, building your SOPs. You can also do that during the day as well. But that's in my world, the best sweaty startup, sub 10 employees way to think about it, because you don't want to start working on a blog in the middle of the day. I understand you might be a great writer at 2 o'clock after a nice cup of coffee, but you could be making sales. For that 6 p.m. and on, you really want to put the time in. That's really when you want to go out and do those activities. So I hope you guys found some value in this video. I stink at telling you guys to hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell, but hopefully you guys do. I'm going on my mini moon. We're going away for the mountains, so I have a video coming right after this. I'm going to be standing in the exact same spot for Monday's video. You're not going to want to miss it because the topic is intense. And other than that, have an amazing weekend. If you're watching this in the future, I hope you have the best day that you've ever had. All right. Love you guys. And I'll see you guys on the next one.